Oh my God, your poor dad.
Welcome back to Your Poor Dad. You can't choose your sisters, but you can choose your podcast. So that was the gurgliest.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Welcome back to Your Poor Dad. You can't choose your sisters, but you can choose your podcast. So thank you for joining us and being the fourth Brant sister.
Welcome back, girlies. We are back and ready to rumble.
And please, I know you guys were really excited when you heard my voice open up the podcast, but do not get used to it, because the only reason I did that for Bailey today, I did her a solid, because, do you want to tell them why?
A little bit squeaky. My voice is just a little bit gone. But
I thought you were going to say the only reason I did it, the only reason we let Bailey do that is because that's the only time she can talk.
Mm-hmm. Well, contractually.
I mean, she can't even talk today for that.
It's okay. If I whisper, it's fine. But I feel like that's less preferable.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe you can whisper.
I don't know. Maybe the ASMR guys will like it.
Maybe we should all just whisper the whole episode.
No.
Couldn't be me.
Okay.
Also, I kind of hate that, like whispering. Yeah,
gross.
ASMR is just not for me, mainly because I fucking hate mouth noises, as you both know.
Mm-hmm.
I think people who like the ASMR whispers also like giving their friends hugs.
Yeah.
Or like their
or like
sisters'
holding
hugs.
their friends' hands.
Yeah.
Like, you know, girls who like hold their friends' hands. Like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, the only time I feel comfortable hugging my friends, honestly, not even my sisters, is when I'm saying hello or goodbye. We can do a brief hug. We don't need to be like holding each other other than that.
I'm just like not like a very touchy-feely girly with
I think
my
we
friends.
get that from mom.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, so we're back. I know we took a brief hiatus. It was just much harder to record in San Diego than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
The 2-hour time change is like, it really gets you. Because if it's 4 o'clock for me, it's 6 o'clock for you guys. So by the time I'm like ready to record at 6, it's 8. And that's like almost bedtime.
That is past my bedtime.
Right. So we just took a brief hiatus. I feel like it was nice. Like I'm also starting work again. So that has been like a lot to balance that. And I'm like, you know, my own boss these days. So that's just like very, very stressful. Like I've had nightmares like every single night.
Wow.
About what? Like your teeth falling out?
Just like, you know, honestly, yes.
That's my stress dream.
Well, because that means you're worried about money. And also, I had like really weird dreams of this guy who was like trying to inject me with a drug, specifically heroin. And I was just like, why? And then I had a dream of Mark coming back from like, he was like in the depths of addiction, trying to like fuck up my happy life.
Wow.
And it was just like, it was too much. I was like, get out of here. Like, I could not get rid of him. He was like a little like cockroach in my life. And I'm like, can't you see we're like happy here? So I woke up every night like at like 3 or 4 with like a full blown like panic.
Dang.
Whoa.
I know. So things have been, it's like you know, when you're just like so happy, but also so stressed and anxious. It's like, I have a lot of feelings going on over here.
Yeah, I'm kind of just always stressed and anxious, whether I'm happy or sad. Like, stressed and anxious is my constant emotion and feeling. And then the others just depends on what's going on.
Paige had us fill out our census as required by law. And they were asking so many questions like, does Bailey Brant have trouble walking up steps? Does Bailey Brant have trouble seeing? What time does Bailey Brant leave for work? How long does it take Bailey Brant to get to work? And it's like, who's asking? You want to know all my vulnerabilities and my schedule? Like, leave me alone.
That's like kind of like an MYOB kind of.
Exactly.
I know. And
But the data is good. It's just like, what are you using it for?
But I also I haven't had to fill that out before. And I was wondering, it says required by law. And I said,
like,
is it really? And then I saw that if we don't do it, there's a possibility that we would be fined $300. And I said, honey, I can't afford that. I just went to Taylor Swift.
Oh, is that a segue?
And that is a segue.
Wow. Okay, so Bailey, I want to ask you, like, how candid do you want us to be?
As candid as we want.
Okay.
I'm wearing my shirt.
We got Bailey a shirt because
This time.
the first time. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
This time. The first time we were overstimulated.
Well, in the first, no, let's be completely honest. The first time we went to the Eras tour, we had VIP tickets, and I think we really took that for granted.
Yeah.
At least when it comes to merch, because we got in and we were so confused. Wow, we got our merch so fast. And we'll be completely honest, we did not think about you wanting merch.
We didn't think about you.
I'm not like a very material items girl, so it would make sense like, oh, this t-shirt isn't, and I would have never said anything if I knew you guys were going again. I was just like, oh, would have been nice if you guys thought about me the first time.
Yeah, and then I felt really
Which is so
bad.
embarrassing to
So the
say.
second time, I was like, we have to get Bailey something, and we did not have VIP this time. And the line, it was what,
It was a
3
2-hour plus line.
So we said, you know what, Bailey, we're not going to be able to do this. And then you had a friend that just
one of my
came in
friends
clutch.
was like, hey, I'm going to cut the merch line. Because so what people were doing was cutting the merch line and paying for that person's merch so they could buy more merch.
Yeah.
So it's honestly worth like paying for a shirt, like $50 for somebody to get out of waiting in like a 2+ hour line. So she's like, hey, I'm getting something. Do you want anything? And I was like, just get me a sweatshirt, size large. She's tall and we'll be good.
That doesn't add to anyone's time. Like, it's a good system. There should be some kind of better system for merch in the
Honestly,
future.
they couldn't have a better system. Like, where else would they put the merch? There's like only so many places they could have done it, because there's merch outside, inside, like everywhere.
And they opened up some of the merch, at least the ones outside, at like noon or something.
Like there's really
They did their best.
Yeah, it was so in demand, and I wish that I would have gotten maybe different things the first time that
Me
we
too.
went, because
Me
I was
too.
like, oh, like I'll just get a shirt, I don't care. But now that I'm seeing everyone with that
know.
navy crew neck, I'm like, fuck. I wish I
No,
got
the thing is I knew that I wanted my black sweatshirt before I went to the first show. I knew that. I didn't think about anything else.
I know. Now I'm seeing everyone with like the gray crew neck too, with like the arrows on the back, and that was really cute. But anyways, let's talk about our experience. Can I go first?
Sure.
Oh my God. This experience was so much more relaxing with Paige.
I was so
Like,
chill.
I'm like, when I'm a concert girly, like I want to experience the concert. I want to have fun. I want to make TikToks. I want to like enjoy it. I want to drink. I want to like experience everything about it, the concert. The first time we went to Eras, Paige it was truly like she was going to work. And it was like she was getting, or like it was the last day of college and like she had to take a test, and this was the most important test, and if she didn't pass, she was going to fail college. Like it was so stressful. Like the whole time I was like trying to make Paige have fun the first time, and like she truly did not have fun until Taylor
started.
And then when she ended,
Until I saw that little clock.
yes, and then that's when Paige had fun. This whole time I was like making Paige do a bunch of TikToks, and she indulged me, and it was a much more pleasant experience with you.
It really was. And I think because I had gone once before, I knew exactly kind of what to expect. So nothing was going to be a surprise.
Yeah.
And so I could really relax and soak it all in. There's so much that I feel like I missed from the first concert, and I think a lot of it has to do with how close we were, because we were technically like lower than the stage, you know?
We were behind her for most of the time.
Yeah, so it felt like a brand new show, but since I knew what to expect, I was very calm, very cool, very collected. I drank this time.
Yeah.
I was just breezy.
Yeah, so we sit in our seats and we see Gail, who was great. She kind of made us cry.
Oh,
Paige
she
and I
made
are
me cry kind of a lot.
because she was talking about like how, because she sings A, B, C, D, E, F, U, and your mom, and you know that song. And she was like, this song changed my life. Like, you guys don't understand how crazy it is that this song came out, and now I'm opening for Taylor Swift at the Eras tour. Like, she was so grateful.
Yeah.
And so that just like warmed my heart and made me like get a little teary. Is that what made you teary?
There was a couple things, but I don't remember anymore.
Yeah. And then Haim came out, which is like, we could never be Haim.
Yeah.
Like we wish on our best day we can be Haim, you know?
Yeah.
And they were really fun. They played a lot of songs from their first album, Days Are Gone, which I really love because I love that album. And this guy comes and sits down by us. And he's like, Paige, be honest, how old do you think he was? His daughter was 20 and she was his youngest daughter.
I think that he was 45.
I would say 49. Okay. Because he had an older daughter.
Okay.
And if he's like 20 years older. So I'm like, no, trust me, I've been thinking about this a lot.
Okay, yeah.
And so he's either like 40, he's between 45 to 50.
Okay.
Much older than me. And he was much. And so we're like talking to him and we mentioned to him like, oh, our dad, like we know.
Because at first it seemed like it was going to be an okay vibe. Like, oh, it's cool that
like, I've got you girls.
There's this dad. He's here with his daughter. You know, I think we thought it was going to be cool because I can only imagine how our dad would be if he was there with us, and he would just be so excited to be there, and it would just be very non-threatening and fun.
And dad is such dad vibes with people. Like dad is never like creepy with people.
Exactly. And so I think we were at first thinking it was going to be like that.
Right.
It wasn't.
And then he leans over and he's like, so like what did he say?
He said, are you here with your daughter too?
He's like, yeah, so your daughter too? And I was like, sorry, what? He's like, you're my age, right? And I was like, no, this is my sister. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I was like, I'm 34. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I was like, I am not her mother. She's 3 years younger than me. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm 34. She's 31. You think there's at least 20 years of a difference between us? Are you fucking kidding me? And then I'm contemplating. I'm like, I haven't gotten Botox in a while. These extensions are aging me. Maybe it's my boob job. Like, all these things are just like amalgamation to make me look 20 years older than Paige.
Honestly, as rude as it was fucking hilarious because you both couldn't stop talking about it.
No.
Yes.
He couldn't stop talking about it during the concert, Paige.
You have not stopped talking about it since, though.
This is the first time I've talked about it in weeks.
Okay.
But we're on the podcast, so I have to tell them. But during the concert, he literally would not stop talking about it.
The thing that's so weird, well, because it was like he really wanted to have a reason to talk to us, and the only reason he had was to apologize for saying that you were my mom. And so he just kept bringing it up, and you were like, truly stop talking about it.
Well, his plan A was bonding over parenthood, and that backfired. So his plan B was to apologize.
So then he kept buying us drinks.
But we were sharing the drink because
so we were sharing the drink because he only had two hands, and he told us that. He's like, what do you guys want to drink? But I only have two hands, so one for
which
me,
was fine. So in my mind, the first drink was the apology drink. Mm-hmm. He asked us if we wanted one. We said yes, whatever. So that's the apology. Whatever. Then he just gets us another one, which was nice, but we didn't ask for it. And that's when I kind of started feeling a little, I hate to say, obligated.
I know. I don't know why you did that. Like, he literally offended me. He could buy me as many drinks as he...
But the reason I felt obligated is because he didn't just say, are you her mom, basically, and that was it. He kept wanting to be with us instead of his daughter.
Yeah, so it was like Paige, me, this guy, his daughter. Also, side note, it was so weird. His daughter was at the same show we were at in Arlington.
Oh, that's cool.
And also, his daughter was cool. And
she was so cool.
It was weird to me that he didn't switch with his daughter.
Just switch.
Because we kept... Because... Okay, spoiler alert, that was the night that she announced 1989 re-release.
Yeah, so we were like bonding with the daughter because every time she would come out, like we were like, oh my God.
It's Blue again.
Yeah, like,
but it was weird because we kept leaning over him. She and the daughter was... So it was just like switch.
Just switch it. And then, so immediately, you know, the countdown happens. It's been a long time. Paige and I are losing our fucking minds, having the time of our life. We like are crying, screaming, and this guy is literally boxing out his daughter. So it's like me, or it's Paige, me, and then he is like
So he's
looking at us.
He's
the whole time.
looking at Jade, and Jade doesn't want to look at this man, so she's looking straight at me.
So
her back's to him, but then I don't want to look at Jade because if I look at Jade, I'm looking at him. So I'm straight on. Jade's look like sideways looking at me, and we're just trying to vibe with each other. And this man, I can just see out of the corner of my eye, he's just like hovering.
His presence was right here the entire time.
Right,
like imagine like your peripheral. It was just like a force right here the entire time.
It was wild.
So annoying. And like Cruel Summer comes on, and Paige and I are screaming every word. We're like videotaping. He's videotaping us.
That's the weird. He has so many videos of us. I honestly
I
thought
want his videos.
I thought he was gonna say, "What's your number?" so I can send you the videos.
I know
that never happened.
I know. He just has them.
Yeah.
But his daughter
You're
was
welcome.
so sweet, and it was so crazy. So like that happened the whole time, and then every like era, I got an apology. It was like, "Hey, I'm so sorry." I'm like,
and he kept saying, "This is the one that really pissed me off." For me, I'm sure the mom comment really pissed you off. He kept saying, "Wow, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. She's amazing.
Yeah, like,
Taylor's
no
amazing."
shit.
I was like, "Say that one more fucking time."
like obviously that's why we're all here. That's why all 70,000 of us are here.
I'm just gonna say it.
And you know what? On like out of all of the people in the stadium, like how many? It's probably like 80% women. Probably more women. And then we get sat next to the one straight annoying male in the whole fucking straight annoying single male.
You know what though? I couldn't have given two flying flippity fucks because I had the best night of my life.
But so it was so crazy because I had said to Paige doesn't remember this, but I was like, what if she comes out in a blue outfit for the 1989 part of the show? Like that would be so crazy. I was like, but there's no way she would do that. Like that's just so obvious. Then we are watching the show, and during Enchanted, I was like, oh, it looks like she's in the same outfit that she was in Arlington. But then
I was like, no.
Then she,
at first, I just thought it was like really glittery.
Yeah.
I thought it was just really. I was like, because I saw Cinderella.
yeah.
And then she kept coming, and it was
blue. And then it was like a halter neck. So like we haven't seen this dress before. So I was like, oh my God, she's going to be in blue throughout the fucking rest of the show. Then so Enchanted happened, and then I think it was Evermore?
It doesn't matter. Everything was blue.
I know,
the point.
But then when we saw the Evermore set and she was blue, that was insane.
Yeah.
Because I also thought she was going to play Invisible String.
I
don't know why I thought that was going to happen.
I really thought, man, here's the thing about me. I was 100% convinced we were getting Invisible String because she played it the first 4 or 5 shows or something, and then she stopped and switched out Invisible String with the one.
Dallas was like one of the first shows that she didn't play it.
I think it was the
show before us.
I think so.
City, yeah.
And then so I'm like, this is the last show. Anything can happen. She's gonna go back to Invisible String. That's one of my favorite songs. So I was really in my head. That's what was happening. Didn't happen. I would have bet my dogs that she was going to play Cornelia Street.
Oh my God, yeah. I totally thought she was going to play Cornelia Street.
And so for that reason, I was disappointed. However,
yeah,
it was just the in the moment kind of thing, because I'm not kidding. Every fiber in my being, I was like, we're getting Cornelia Street.
I totally thought, like, even the beginning chords. Okay, so she comes out next for the 1989 portion, and she's in the blue suit again, and we're just like losing our minds. Like the whole crowd was like so loud, and you could just tell she was like fucking feeling herself. It was so cool to see that part of it. And then she comes out in the blue duster, and she looks so cute. And then of course she plays New Romantics, which like I think we all knew she was going to play New Romantics, but we also all knew she was going to play Cornelia Street, and she didn't. And like the first chords of New Year's Day, I was like, Paige, it's Cornelia Street.
And I knew that it wasn't, but I was just like, I was just sitting there. You were like, you looked at me, and I was in disbelief because I was like, it's not happening. Now that I'm not there, I can really appreciate the choices.
Yeah, because for everyone, she played Tim McGraw for her very first surprise song.
1-1.
Which is the very first song of her very first album. And then she played New Year's Day, which is the very last song of her very last album that she does not own right now.
Yes.
So that part is really cool, and I think it's like pretty predictable, but I love that, like the little book ending of it. New Year's Day is not personally one of my favorite songs, but I would have loved Cornelia Street. But honestly, I was just excited to be there for the 1989 of it.
Well, and I love that song. I'm telling you, I really thought it was happening.
It's hard to like New Year's Day after you think you're getting Cornelia Street.
Especially because I thought I was getting Death by a Thousand Cuts, and then I did.
I know.
So then I thought that I was.
I know her.
I thought that I was a good luck charm or something,
Yeah.
which is delusional. I know, but it's just I thought so.
But it was all in all a great night, and Karlie Kloss was there. And we still have no solid answers to Karlie Kloss being there, because she was legit in the 200 section.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm right after it, I was feeling like Karlie had very nefarious vibes. Now I'm seeing stuff from Dumois where
That they knew.
and Taylor's team gave her the 200 tickets. I just find that extremely hard to believe.
Well, if that's true, then that goes into what me and a million other people have been saying about it being more for publicity. Like, everyone's going to be talking about 1989. I don't know.
But it's Taylor doesn't need Karlie's help to blow up
I know
1989. But I think it could be cool. I'm excited to see what Taylor does to promote 1989, because that was her girl gang era, and she's still friends with all those girls.
But it also could have something to do with whatever the heck this whole Scooter Braun thing is.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move into Scooter Braun. So anyway, wrap up TS2 for us. It was great.
Amazing.
Bailey, any comments?
No.
Okay, so Scooter Braun this week has been so titillating because Ariana Grande has dropped him as her manager.
Demi
Demi
Lovato
dropped him, and there's been talks of Justin Bieber dropping him, but those talks have been disputed, but people are saying those disputes are coming straight from Scooter. So we don't really know. We can assume that Justin Bieber is not working with Scooter Braun anymore.
Well,
And J Balvin and some other people.
Idina Menzel, that was
Adele Mazim.
earlier. But, and then something that I heard is sources close to him were yeah, he's taking a step back from management so he can focus on his role as CEO for Hybe America. And that just seems too convenient.
Yeah.
I think something bigger is going to come out.
Yeah, I saw somebody on TikTok say that Hollywood lets a lot of shit get away, but Hollywood lets a lot of people get away with a lot of shit, but they do not let people get away with shit when it comes to money. And I think he's been a little shisty with his money, doing some shady deals.
And you know what? We're going to find out.
Wait, I don't know. Is shisty a bad thing to say?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I didn't mean it bad. I mean, I think shady is the word I meant.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. It's also very interesting timing because Reputation's 6-year anniversary is this week. And it's
today.
It's 6 years ago today that Taylor announced Reputation. And then that clip from the show movie Wilderness, I don't know what that is even about. They had Look What You Made Me Do, Taylor's version, in their trailer.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy because we've just gotten Delicate, Taylor's version, on The Summer I Turned Pretty. Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, but did we confirm that was Taylor's version?
But that director wouldn't use anything but Taylor's version.
I don't know.
What do you mean? Taylor debuted This Love with her.
Yeah, I guess I haven't seen anything that actually confirms. Because you can, I don't know, whatever, maybe
I would
not.
assume that this girl has a relationship with Taylor and that she wouldn't use Delicate unless it was
I would
sanctioned.
I would hope.
I think Taylor would be like, fuck you, I'm not working with you anymore.
I think Taylor is doing totally fine and everyone's going to be talking about it anyways.
Well, also Taylor gave them that August, that version of August that's like trending on TikTok. I think that Taylor and this director have like a very close relationship, that like she could have used another one of Taylor's songs. I think it's like a sign.
Great.
I have an update on the word shiesty if you want to hear it.
Sure.
Okay.
Shiesty comes from the German word shyster, meaning someone who defecates. So it technically means a shitty person or a shitter. So.
And you know what? If we want to segue into something else, I read like a really crazy book.
Okay. Go on.
Are we done with Scooter?
Yeah, so I mean, just more to come.
More to come. I read this book that I feel like you guys like totally need to read.
I'm not going to. I'm
I'll
still
read
trying
it.
to get. I'm still trying to get through 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Thank you, Smacky. I'm still reading it.
Okay, well, it is called, wait, what is this book called? It's like, The Nightingale, duh. And it's all about like the French women in World War II. It's one of the best books I have ever read, and it just like is gonna make it really hard to be in Germany. Like, I just cannot believe how terrible the Nazis were. Like, it's just like we knew the Nazis were terrible, and then it's just like, oh my god, like they really were just like the fucking most evil people.
Yeah, but like it's not like Americans are all that great and have a super clean history either. We just don't like to talk about it, so we pretend like it never happened.
Yes, but I think the Nazis were worse.
I'm not pro-Nazi, to be very clear.
But like the Nazis, it's like it was not that long ago. It's like, okay, like America, yeah, we were bad and we kind of learned our lessons.
America's not that old.
I know, but like Germany, like what they did was not that long ago.
Agreed.
And so it's just like kind of crazy.
What was that? The 40s?
Yeah.
Yes. So, but it's crazy. Like
Ballpark.
our grandmother was literally born in 1945. Like the war was over in 1945. It ended in 1945. And the whole like basis of the story is like the French women, like basically French just like surrendered to Germany, and they were like, oh, okay, like we're gonna avoid war because we just had World War I, so we'll just like surrender to you guys. And in doing that, the Nazis completely took over, took all of their resources. Like they were like giving them rations of food. So like you would go to the store and be like, can I get bread? They're like, you can have this like really old gray stale moldy bread. And then you're seeing the Germans across the street like just basically like throwing bread in the trash in your face, and like meanwhile you are starving to literal death, and like anything you did that was stepping out of line, they would just like shoot you and hang you. And it's just like, how did this happen like in our grandparents' lifetime?
Yeah. It's like, excuse me, we all are just coming out of World War I. Like, come on, France,
And
have
it's
a
like-
backbone.
I know, like literally France, can you like man up a
It
little
was
bit?
the World War.
The
Come on.
World War.
The World War.
Yeah. And it's just like, did Germany like really need to do that so soon after World War I? Like they were just like, they couldn't let everyone just like have a little break.
Yeah.
No, they wanted to kick them while they were down.
Right. And it's like, we just had the Great Depression, and America was like, hey, like we've been through enough. And then Japan had to, you know, just like kick us in the ass, and we're like, all right, fine. You want us to end this? We will end this.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that like, so the end of the book, like they see like the Americans coming through, and like the Americans meant so much hope for these people. They're like, oh my God, like once the Americans got there, they were like, they were able to like move on.
Bailey knows because this is history. You know,
I know.
and Bailey knows history. I'm just laughing because like we're just getting a history lesson.
I know.
I love it.
You can get everything from this podcast. You can get Scooter Braun drama. You can get Nazi drama. You can get it all.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little lesson.
And that brings us to Oppenheimer. Great film. I don't have that much to say about it. I liked it.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Mr. Roberts saw it and he was like, it could have been an hour shorter.
That's what a lot of people are saying, but I feel like the movie they wanted, like they made the movie they wanted to make, and it was so specific and so, as far as I know, I wasn't there, like true to real life
Historically
events that they
accurate.
wanted to keep it that way.
Well, and you're like a history girly.
Yeah.
You dabble.
I wouldn't say I'm
It's just
accurate
because she
about
has
anything.
a really solid memory.
Yeah. And it would be kind of like asking you guys to cut out an hour of Taylor Swift's concert. People get it. It could have been just 2 hours, you know, like you would get the gist of what Taylor Swift is all about. but every part is so important to who she is. So, like, the guy who wrote Oppenheimer was so obsessed with Oppenheimer, he wanted to include everything and every little Easter egg.
Got it. Okay, wow, that was beautiful the way you just explained that.
You used all of my voice for that.
Well, just another little update for everybody. To segue off of all of that, we are going to Europe.
We are.
In just a couple of weeks, and I could not be more excited and more stressed about it.
Can I tell them that you cried yesterday thinking about leaving the dogs for that long?
You just did.
Paige cried yesterday because she's worried about them.
I am. I'm going to be gone for so long, and it makes me so sad because they're just so special.
I know, but Paige, like, you are like such a little ball of stress. You gotta like let go and let God sometimes.
And speaking of the dogs, I just have to say, I'm really not joking when I talk about the Frenchies and their allergy journey. Everyone, if you have dogs that have allergies, really just go to Barking Creek, because you need to look at Roman's belly. Like, he still has his allergies, like outside allergies that like are showing up like on his back, but his belly, where he would have, I don't know, just
Welts,
gross
like
redness,
welts.
it looks so much better. And it just makes me so sad knowing that I'm gonna leave them for 10 days at a boarding place, which they love the boarding place, but because there's so many other dogs at this boarding place and they're just playing extra outside after 3 days, both of their eyes are like bloodshot red because like their allergies are just like inflamed. I'm like, what are they gonna look like after 10 days?
Yeah,
They're gonna be beautiful.
they're gonna be fine
As long as they're alive when
they're gonna be safe. It is kind of bizarre about the food and Roman's skin in particular, because before, when he was very inflamed, his nipples kept like expanding and it was like weird, like they were so swollen. And now, even when he gets the bumps on his back, his nipples are the right size. So I don't know what was in that other food that would specifically enlarge his nipples.
So Barking Creek, if you have enlarged dog nipples, Barking Creek will help you.
Yeah.
Honestly, Hank is the same. I mean, Hank is like kind of like the easiest dog ever, and he's already like gorgeous. But they sent me like this huge care package full of treats, and we were literally at McDonald's. And I was like trying to give Hank like a treat when we were on our road trip, like a little like French fry or something. And he just like would not take the French fries because now he's so used to like this like premium Barking Creek treats. He won't take the fucking French fry.
Yeah.
He's like actually the pickiest dog in the world. Like, I'm like trying to feed him like, oh, here's like a carrot, here's broccoli, here's a French fry, here's a cheeseburger. He's like, no, I just want like my locally sourced sustainable Waco beef.
Yeah, he says, I know my worth.
Yeah.
Don't try to cheapen me with that McDonald's.
I've taught him that.
Just because, sorry this whole intro is so long, but guys, we've missed you. We got to fill you in. I just wanted to say, I know some of you were asking, I'm not dating anybody. So,
So it's like, because people were like, is Paige still talking to that guy?
Randy. I'm not talking to anybody anymore.
So if you have any more brothers you want to set Paige up with.
Brothers, friends, I don't know.
Doctors,
cousins,
lawyers, business executives.
Surely, I don't know. I was going to say, like, I'm open. I don't know if I am. I'm also very picky.
You are, but like also you're kind of not.
What is that?
I don't know. Because me and Mr. Roberts were listening to you talk about Randy, and I was like, you don't like this person. But like, why'd you hang out with him for so long?
Because I do.
Because I think he was
But
like
the thing is like, I think I fixate on the things that I don't like.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah.
maybe I need to start seeing Kevin again.
I think you're like a little over therapized, if we're being honest.
I might be. But also there was this guy that I was on Hinge, and every single one of his pictures, he was with another guy, and they were always
Making
like
out.
hugging each other. And so I asked, because
Why do
dating
you
apps,
even engage with that?
he said so. I don't know. He said something that was kind of intriguing, and I was like, "What is happening here?"
I feel like I've seen that guy on Hinge before.
I have seen couples who say they're like, if I'm
Looking for a third?
Yeah, but whatever. So I asked, I was like, I'm confused. Are you do you only have pictures with your brother, or are you gay and looking for a third? And he was so offended that I asked. And I was like, I'm only asking because you only have pictures with this man. And then he asked if I was a lesbian. And I said, oh, do I come off that way? And he was like, no, I was messing around. And I was like, okay, but I wasn't. So
wait, did he like you first?
Yeah, he liked me, and my response was, I'm confused on what's going on here. Like,
your response was, are you gay?
Yes. My response was, are you dating a man, and are you guys looking for a third, or do you just only have pictures with your brother? That's what my exact response was.
Why did you expect to get a good response?
I guess now that you're saying that, I don't know.
I'm so uncomfortable for you. Why would you do that?
Well, how else was I gonna know?
Just ignore. If that's what you think it is and you don't want that, why even engage?
Well, because
I think that you like to like make guys feel like shit.
Well, because then whenever he said I'm straight, but then he got weird about it. He was like, I'm straight. I obviously don't have pictures alone. What does that mean?
Well, because he's saying like, oh, I'm straight. I don't just like have a photo shoot just by myself.
Yeah, but it's like every other person at least has one photo of just them, or they have like a friend photo. It's like it was just him and this one guy in every single photo, and they were always like,
wait, it was just the same guy?
It was him and the same other guy.
Wait, can you show me this guy? Because I feel like I've seen this guy on Hinge before. But like, you really
he might have unmatched me by now.
Honestly, I would unmatch you. Like, I would block you. I'd report you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. The darkest thing about me is I check LinkedIn for daily news. Okay, this guy does not look... Well, he's from Nashville. Okay, this guy doesn't... Wait, it's also like kind of hard to tell which one he is because every time I think this one looks a little gay. He has one picture by himself, but this isn't really giving off gay.
But it is a little confusing because it's always the same person. It's not like it's a different friend or a group photo, or it's always the same person.
I think
so anyways, I already said what I said. It is what it is. Anyways, so I'm single, ready to mingle.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. I just came back from a 20-hour road trip with Mr. Roberts. We did 6 hours. Oh, first of all, San Diego, I just have to say, not for me. It's just not for me. Like, you got the vibe of where we went, or where we stayed, and it was just like not great. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like... So our final take on our San Diego situation was like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like worth being there for 6 weeks, like away from Austin.
It was like a weekend thing.
Yeah, it was like, oh, let's do this for a week. But like, it wasn't relaxing. It was more stressful. It was like, we were right next to Petco Park, so that's like their baseball field. So they had like Morgan Wallen concerts there, which was really fun. But like... Also, when we weren't at Morgan Wallen, it wasn't fun because the streets are packed. Everyone's wasted. It's just like there's a huge homeless problem in San Diego, which made it feel a little sketchy sometimes when I'm just like walking down the street and like people are like screaming at the top of their lungs, which is like really sad. But like also like I want to protect myself. But we did a little last week in Laguna, and that was so relaxing, so nice. It kind of canceled out the whole like San Diego vibe. And I feel like if you're not from California, you're not familiar, it feels like Dallas versus Houston, you know, like they seem so similar. But like to me, I'm just like an Orange County girly, which probably says not good things, but whatever.
Just says everything they need to know.
Says everything you need to know. But we had like the most relaxing time. I saw a bunch of friends, had some friends come and like bring their kids to the pool, and that was really fun. I got to see Lisa and the girls, and Selling OC is going to be coming back, so you guys should watch that. And we did the road trip Laguna to Phoenix, and that was really nice. Then we did Phoenix to Marfa, and then Marfa to Austin. And I'm like pretty like obsessed with Mr. Roberts still, so that's awesome.
That's
Hell
great.
yeah.
I know. So there's that. That's that with me.
Wow.
The only other thing that I wanted to know your thoughts on is the whole Raquel Bethenny.
I cannot believe Raquel she was sitting on this like huge gold mine. And that gold mine was the fact that she played it right after the reunion and just like shut the fuck up for months, which Tom Sandoval, as we know, did not. So her first interview back held a lot of weight. Like she could have like done something much bigger. And she chose to go on Bethenny. I think it was extremely a half-ass, like, it didn't have like a big like gusto coming back. It did for Bethenny.
Well, I was going to say they had different agendas.
Exactly. Bethany's agenda is like showing the reality TV reckoning. Like, look at
Can you tell Bailey? I know Bailey doesn't know about Bethany's.
So you know who Bethany Frankel is?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's a former Real Housewife of New York. She's kind of considered one of like the greats of housewives because she's one of like, she always had like a quick like wit thing to say. She's very sharp tongued,
And she's very independently successful.
Well, so we were talking about this on the drive home. Is she independently successful, or is she successful because of the show? Because
when I say independently, I mean she's not a housewife that needs her husband's.
Right.
That's what I meant.
So she got her like money because she was like this chef and she was trying to like sell cookies, and then she started talking about like skinny girl margaritas, and then so she decided to make that a product when she got a little bit of money from the show, and then she sold it for like $100 million, and I think she was probably like the majority owner of Skinny Girl. So she was kind of like the first like big business success from the show, and now they have this thing called the Bethenny Clause, and she literally says it in every single fucking like every other sentence is like, oh well, the Bethenny Clause. And it's so now if you are on a Bravo show and you start a business, Bravo can have like a percentage of the business, because they basically like, to be honest, Skinny Girl would be nothing if it was not for the platform that she had. Like it would be a lot harder to get that big that quickly. So anyways, that's who Bethenny is.
But yeah, but what she has been advocating for recently.
So recently she's been, so with the whole SAG strike and the writer's strike and everything, Bethany's like, well, what about the reality stars? Like, you know, Bravo is profiting off of us and they're making their residuals off of us, but we're not seeing any of that. And I think she does have a point, but I think she's going about it in a really terrible way, because instead of like partnering with Bravo or like, it's like she's making an enemy out of Bravo, and Bravo's like, it's like you're literally biting the hand that fed you for so long. Like you are the reason you are who you are, is because you are who you are because of Bravo.
I do think that she is trying to fight a bigger fight, because it also goes into, remember Love is Blind, Danielle and Nick, I think.
Cameron?
No, Danielle and Nick, like the girl who liked to jump on or dance on the tables, and she always had like the costumes in her closet or whatever, and then
they had like they were told that they were like, or remember they came out and they were like, the producers were torturing us, basically, like not giving us water, like we had anxiety.
Well, and he has been saying that basically like the show hasn't treated them fairly. He can't get a new job. He was in IT or something, or some kind of tech thing, and he can't get a job because he was on Love is Blind, and it's just like this whole thing. So it's like, I do think that it's bigger than Bravo. I think it is what is reality TV, and like how is that going to be handled and everything. But to your point, I think she is currently the loudest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think she's the loudest, and I think she has a point, but I don't think she's very like methodical and like safe with what she's saying. Like, and
she might not need to be safe, but some of the other like Raquel or Rachel, now she wants to go by Rachel again. So
yeah,
whatever. But so she isn't. Bethenny has her money. She has her wealth. Like she's, I don't know, protected in whatever way. But some of the other players aren't. You know what I mean?
Well, when I say safe, I just mean like she's not like dotting her I's and crossing her T's when she's talking. Like she's not very informed on a lot of things that she's talking about. I think she's like informed in like the very like macro sense, but when she gets into talking about a lot of stuff, she doesn't have the facts. Like she was talking about like the top or the below deck situation that I don't really know what happened with that, but like she got that wrong. She kind of got like the Scandival of it wrong. So like let's just start like my overall thoughts. This is Raquel's Howie Mandel. You had Tom Sandoval as your example of a flop interview. And then you decide to do the exact same flop interview. Like, why aren't you going to somebody who like actually watched the show that can like ask informed questions? You're going to somebody who's like, no, I haven't watched the show at all. I have no idea who these people are. And who is like talking like they are informed on it.
Well, I think that she wanted somebody. I think she thought Bethenny was the right choice because Bethenny is in the
Bravo.
universe.
Yeah.
But she doesn't watch the show, so she can't ask. She
can't hold her accountable.
Exactly. Raquel's not going to be stuck in a really difficult situation.
Right. And
I
Bethany's...
also don't know if everyone was knocking on Raquel's door for a interview. Like,
I think anyone...
I think whoever was going to give Raquel this first interview back would have gotten like a top podcast. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's like Oprah was knocking on her door, but I think like anyone with a podcast would have knocked on her door. Like, I honestly think that she could have gone on Call Her Daddy.
What about Your Poor Dad?
She for sure could have gone on Your Poor Dad.
Yeah.
I heard they're taking the most elite guests.
I just think they both had such different agendas.
Did you listen?
I listened to part one, and then when it stopped, I was like, "Fuck this!" I was so annoyed.
So bad.
I was so annoyed.
Bethenny is such an annoying interviewer. She just talks over them, and
she was talking over them, and when Raquel was talking, Bethenny would respond, bringing back her agenda.
Right,
and that's what I thought was so. I was like, okay, this is not getting me anywhere. I did think it was a better choice for Raquel to go the Bethenny route than it was for Sandoval to go the Howie Mandel route. Like, I thought that.
Yeah.
But it was still a nothing burger. Like,
it was extremely nothing burger. The whole thing of her being like, I'm finally speaking my uncensored truth. It's like everything you're saying pretty much is either we already know about or is like kind of he said, she said. Like, let's get into some of the things. So I actually saw a clip or listened to a clip of Lala talking about this. She's like, there's a lot of things that she talked about that was like perspective. Like, okay, James and the dog. Because she talked about like how James made the dog bite people. Okay, that's your perspective. And Lala was like, there's also a lot of things that she said that just like were not factual. So she said that Lala and Christina Kelly, after the Vegas night this season, they were like, oh my God, Raquel, you were so good. That was reality TV gold. You killed it. And then she's like, and then the next morning they woke up and they were so bitchy to me. So it was like they were praising me and then they were like, get into character. And Lala's like, that never happened. She went to bed with her little starlights and then we never talked to her until the morning. So that's like kind of like a he said, she said thing, but like Raquel doesn't have like the best track record right now. Mm-hmm. Then there's another thing that she said that Tom Sandoval, this was like actually a little juicy. Tom Sandoval was talking about, so Raquel called Tom Sandoval out for recording the FaceTime where she was like masturbating. And she said, why did you do that without my consent? And then when they wrapped filming, he said, why did you bring that up on camera? That makes me look so bad. And then Tom fought with the producers to get that cut out. Mm. And she also said that Tom got a producer credit for this next season. He negotiated that, which like, why would they give Tom Sandoval a producer credit. That just, it makes no sense. Like, they're gonna give Tom Sandoval one, they need to give Ariana one, they need to give Sheena, they need to give like all like the OGs one, and they're not gonna do that. They're not at that level in their career. It's not like Vanderpump Rules. It's not like Jersey Shore Family Edition or whatever.
Well, it's not like the Kardashians.
Right, exactly. And Stassi, if you listen to Stassi's podcast and Lala's podcast, it's much more like insider info on why that doesn't make any sense. But even when Raquel said that, I was like, Sandoval just told her that. Like, there's no way that's real.
So how do you feel about her not coming back?
I feel like she shouldn't come back. If she can't handle it, then she should not come back. I think that she was, first of all, probably not engaging enough to be on the show to begin with. She only got on this show because she was James's girlfriend. I don't think she can really hang with this crew. And I think that she literally showed her ass this year that she can't be on reality TV.
Well, and like, what would she be doing? No one's hanging out with her.
Right. And it's like, the most interesting thing about Raquel is that she had an affair. Like, her personality is not interesting to me.
No.
Like, when she was on the, like, honestly, I was shocked that her and James were together for 5 years. I was like, she's been on this show for 5 years? That's crazy. I don't remember her. Like, she's not significant enough to be on the show.
You don't remember that she can't give a toast?
She can give a toast. I'm going to have a puppy party for Graham. And then another thing along with that was Roman. Jesus, criminy.
Roman, look at mommy.
So another thing that I really did not like and that honestly triggered me was the fact that she kept calling herself like a love addict, and like she kept saying that she healed and all this stuff, but like I never once really heard her take accountability. She said that she did fuck up, but like she justified her actions at every turn of the interview.
Okay, the only thing I want to say about that is I only listened to part 1, but it did seem to me like she did say that she fucked up, she was sorry. And I think that her talking about her being a love addict, like, she's still trying to figure out why she did what she did. I think.
I get it, but like, why then? She said, I would never have done what I did if I saw any longevity between Tom and Ariana.
Yeah, no, I have nothing for that. Actually.
Yeah, and she kept saying stuff like, well, me and Ariana weren't that close. And it's like, oh, well, that's weird because on the show, and this is another reason why I have a problem with Bethenny, because Bethany's like, oh, the media blew it out of proportion that you guys were best friends. She's like, yeah, we were never best friends. Then why did you say you were best friends on the show? Why did you say Sheena and Ariana are my best friends? I finally found my best friends. And why are you hanging out? And Bethenny also said, have you never made a mistake before? A mistake is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It's not 7 months of going behind somebody's back in a malicious way.
Yeah.
It's like, I just don't see giving, like, okay, we can forgive you, but we need to forget you. It's not like this huge, like, oh my God, we all blew this out of proportion. Like, society is just so crazy for not liking somebody who is a homewrecker.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that she needs to be like burned at the stake for this. I think also we have another thing that Bethenny was like, do you feel like you've gotten like disproportional hate to Tom? No.
I agree that I don't think that it's been
I think if anything, the internet has gone worse on Tom because Tom has fed us way more shit.
Well, and he's just like being way more losery.
And they're like, oh, Tom gets to like get off clean because he's now on the show. Raquel, you could be on the show too. Like, she feels like she is being so, this whole thing is so unfair. If you would have just moved forward just like everyone else did, and if you would have stayed on the show, if you would have done all the deals that I'm sure were piling up in her inbox, she could have capitalized on the show.
Tom and Ariana had to, or chose to, deal with everything right then when it was really fresh. Yeah, I'm sure it was, I can only imagine how hard it was, but she couldn't handle it. I don't know if I could either, right? So
yeah.
she leaves, goes to that facility, and which is totally fine, but since they already had those conversations and dealt with it and talked about it and, you know, kind of handled it, everyone's kind of, okay, we've heard from them. We know where they stand, yada, yada, whatever. It's like they were still waiting for her. And she was just like prolonging that.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see how she thinks it's not fair that Tom gets to be on the show when she could literally be on the show. I don't see how she thinks it's unfair that Ariana is capitalizing with all of this brand deals because she could have capitalized with brand deals too.
She said that she said that Ariana should. She was
she's
happy
like-
for her. She was like, she should get hers.
Yeah, but she also was like, I'm jealous that she's getting it.
And it's okay to be jealous. She wasn't saying that she shouldn't get it.
I know, but like you could have all this shit too. Like I just don't know. I just don't feel like Bethenny like
it just rubbed you in the wrong way.
yeah, because I think that there could have been somebody to give her a more meaningful interview and dig deeper, not only to like challenge her, but also to like get more like, why did you do this? Like, what's next? Like, how did you feel while you were in this like place that you were in? It was very surface level. It was all for Bethenny. And then Bethenny posting #1 podcast in the world. It's like, yeah, no shit. Any podcast that had this interview would be #1 podcast right now. It has nothing to do with you. You're not smart for doing this. Anyone wanted this interview. And that's that.
And that's
So
that.
how much deeper do you think you're going to get with Raquel?
Exactly.
There is no deeper.
And Raquel wants to have a podcast now
About
for mental
what?
health. She's like, nobody's doing mental health podcasts. I want to show it from the other side. So basically, she just wants to give light to other people who do this kind of shit.
Nobody's doing mental health podcasts.
Like literally, that's a whole fucking section on like nobody wants to hear you talk. Like your strength is not talking. You literally said in pageants, your worst section of pageants was talking, and you want to be a podcast host.
Jeez, that's like me being a podcast host.
You are a podcast host.
I know.
But yeah,
Anyway.
anyways, that just like got me like so fired up, but
Well, good for her.
mazel.
So, should we hear from some of the listeners?
Sure.
Let's hear something. I'm gonna pull them up.
I'm gonna be hungover.
Okay, this is just a quick one. Hi, sisters. Okay, how about you get off my lap then?
Roman.
Hi, sisters. I
Hi.
feel like this could be a hot take and wanted to hear what you all thought about this. Okay, so your boyfriend liking girls' pictures.
Oh.
Not like normal pictures, but like thirst trap pictures. What do you think?
No.
That's a no for me.
Yeah. It's just like, look at them. You don't need to
Yeah, like why do you need to like
publicly acknowledge that you liked that ass.
That's the thing that I find so weird. It's like whatever you do in your own time while you're probably in the bathroom going #2, like
Right.
like look at what you want to look at, but like why do you have to like it to where everyone sees that my George Glass boyfriend likes these titties? You
Yeah.
know?
I feel like we already know George Glass likes the titties. We don't need
Obviously.
physical evidence of George Glass likes these titties.
Exactly. The most astonishing thing when I went through my ex, not boyfriend's dog's Instagram account was when he was sending pictures of like girls' asses to like his friends via his dog's Instagram account. I was like, whoa, curtain pulled back. This is not anything I ever needed to know about.
And also, like, he knew the whole time that you had access to that account.
Because I created the
she
account.
created it. Like that's just
Bizarre behavior.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Next.
Hi, sisters.
Hi.
I've been listening from the beginning and I'm usually driving, so whenever good stories pop into my head to send to you, I forget to send them in the mail.
Oh,
But I'm finally here.
no. In the mail? It's
Yeah,
email.
it said forget to send the email, but I messed up. Thank you for pointing it out. Okay. I didn't want to say send them
I
in
just
the
didn't
email.
want to confuse everyone else and thinking, like, you
We're
need to
using the
send,
Pony
like,
Express.
they
Everyone
need to
has
find a
my
stamp.
address.
Like, finding a stamp these days is hard.
Put it on an owl. Okay. I'm a middle sister, and we have an older brother, but luckily he gave us an awesome sister-in-law, so we keep him around.
Nice.
And I've talked my older sister into listening, so shout out to Laura if you hear this.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura. I have a random story I think you guys will giggle at. It's about my shitty, toxic high school ex-boyfriend, and I'm 30 now, so like change the names or don't. I really don't care either way. Sean, ex-boyfriend, was the worst, i.e. cheater, gaslighter, the works.
Interesting.
And we finally broke up around sophomore year of college. Sometime during junior year, I discovered freedom, aka other boys, and I slept with my friend's roommate, James. During my walk of shame home the next day, I decided to text my roommate to tell her I was on my way home. Unfortunately, my roommate and Sean's sister had the same name.
Oh my God, no.
Wait, so she was trying to text the roommate.
But she texted
Okay,
Sean's
yeah.
sister, and she was cheating on Sean.
Yeah,
James.
yeah.
No, they were broken up.
Oh.
But she was hooking up with James, the first guy since
So
Sean.
that's the story of how I accidentally texted my ex-boyfriend's sister almost a year after we broke up.
Oh. That's so awkward.
The text read, quote, OMG, I fucked James last night. I'm going to be so late to student teaching today. So vulgar, so embarrassing. I quickly blocked her number and all the numbers of Sean's family members and laughed it off. Whoops.
Honestly,
Wait, that's
what
so
else can
funny.
you do?
It's like, it's already sent. Just block. Never
And
happened.
it's been a year. It's not like you and Sean are getting back together, so you don't need anybody in that family. So just block, 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 block.
Block, 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 block.
It's even funnier if they think it was on purpose, because then it's like, what psychotic behavior for her to send this text and then block and then just
everyone.
walk out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually kind of funny.
This listener also asked, random question, but where's the sound from your intro from where that random man goes, oh my God, you're born?
That's my voice. So what I
Paige's
did,
mom's voice.
it's Paige's mom's voice, aka me, and I actually recorded myself saying, "Oh my God, your poor dad." Can you guys hear it now?
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
I know, but like if you hear me say it like this, like, "Oh my God, your poor dad."
yeah, because it's like, oh my God. Nope.
So then I just like, I don't even know what I did to the sound, but I just like went into Adobe Premiere and I started like warping the sound, and now it goes, "Oh my God, your poor dad." And then yeah, so that's me. Little peek behind the curtain.
Just that random guy.
Yeah.
That random guy.
That random guy, aka me. All right, I feel like this was like a good episode.
Yeah, it felt long.
It
know.
was. Only because we've been gone for so long.
It's been a long time. Shout out to Mr. Roberts and Mrs. Roberts. I forgot to tell you guys I went to Disneyland with them. Did we talk about that on the podcast?
No.
No, we did. We might have talked about it on the other, like the FaceTime episode.
Oh, did we? I just feel like it was like the best time ever, and like we have to do a Disneyland trip with them sometime. It's
would
like
love to.
It's literally the most fun ever, and I
I'd
feel like
love
they would
to.
love to do it.
They would.
Yeah,
And we would.
yeah. So shout out to them if they got this far. Mr. Roberts Sr. is always like, "What's going on with the girls? Why isn't there an episode?"
Because we've been slacking.
But
We're back, baby.
But don't worry, we're back. We're coming back in fall full force. We're going to be doing a vlog of our European vacation. So that'll be on me. I'm sure my boss will be on me every night. Have you edited the vlog? You. And the only problem about the vlog is I'm going to need you to record yourself being so anxious at the airport.
I will.
I'm flying with her.
You are? Okay,
Yeah.
you have to get the footage. I'm flying, I think, by myself. So
I'm also going to be anxious because I'm taking a whole week off of work, so it's scary.
it's been a long time. And I'm going to be anxious because I'm going to be, in Europe and I should be like working.
You have
Yeah.
a phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks,
Anyways.
guys, for being here.
We love you.
Follow us on Instagram.
Make
at
sure
Your
to.
Poor Dad.
Are you going to do
Pod.
it?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Your Poor Dad Pod, TikTok, TikTok, Your Poor Dad Pod. Make sure to share us with your friends. Most importantly, we do this shit for free. All you need to do, if you like this episode, just send it to your friend. That's it. That's all you need to do. Just like recruit more friends, because the more friends we get, the more like we could grow. And then,
Yeah, don't be mad at them. They listened to us after not getting an episode for.
Well, and also what I love to do is stalk our reviews. So please give me something new to read.
yeah.
And also send us an email at yourpoordad@gmail.com.
Oh yeah, give us like stories. I like today's 3 were like perfect. It was like such a good mix.
I like when there's random ones when they're new listeners, but they're listening to old stuff. They're like, I actually have a story about this as well. You jogged my memory.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have a voice next week.
Maybe we'll see.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.